You know, I've inherited a really good group of players, and I think they're well organised.
Run of fixtures, he's had to welcome him to the Premier League, but as Matt was alluding to there, it all began with a trip.
For me, is something that Brighton could probably improve at.
City last week, disappointments as well, losing to Brentford and being booting. So much fluidity, so much interchanging, and so 52 days after Graham Potter said goodbye to Brighton, they haven't won, whilst he's enjoyed a 9-game unbeaten. Alexis McAllister has had his role redefined. Conor Gallagher started in Salzburg and he starts again.
Desperate to add goals to that, especially in front of a home crowd.
Continue. We're about to find out. Underway here. Brighton corner whipped into the front post. And it'll break here for Estepinian. And it's headed away yet again by Thiago Silva. Two vital interventions.
Different to what we anticipated.
Sterling looks to link. He's been brought back into the team by Graham Potter. But you saw there the risk that it entails.
Much possession of the ball, especially in their own half.
Chance here for them with Trossard! Headed away by Thiago Silva. Well, that's why Chelsea brought him to the coma. Working his way around, Chalobah Matoma to Trossard. Can he finish? Leandro Trossard! Brighton have burst out of the blocks here this afternoon. And Roberto De Zerbi's side get their reward. 5 goals under De Zerbi, and every single one of them has come from the Belgian. Now Mason Mount drags the ball back behind him, and Trossard will try to get there. Kovacic comes in for against Manchester United. Chance here for Chelsea perhaps to level up, and Robert Sanchez, well, he's always quick off his line, and he just got there.
You need the players, but also you can't get too bogged down in that. You have to be direct at times.
Free kick here. Situations. Signed a new contract with Brighton. Brilliantly brought down. Trossard looks to fire it across, and it's turned behind. Off Thiago Silva. Front post delivery off the bar and into the net. Brighton lead 2-0. They have been on. Look in the face of Graham Potter. Stanley as well, their head of recruitment, will join the many that have made. Plays it into the middle, real chance for Gallagher, pushed out by Sanchez. Clever to find Trossard, who goes for goal. To a relative regular in recent games. Here's Sterling. Whips in the delivery, Gallagher's header, and it is brilliantly beaten away by Robert Sanchez. Mount. Dunk steps in, deflects up and takes the touch. Can he work an angle to strike? It's still Havertz who looks to catch out Robert Sanchez at his front post, but it's making a run here. And look how high Kepa is. And told him to stay high whenever they have. Oops, against shooting initially, then has a go. Unable to actually rest him as much, perhaps, as his opinion. Into Trossard at the front post, flicks it goalwards. Well, he's been red hot. Risky tactic there, but to go long. Sterling. Havertz now looking threatening. It's still Havertz, and well, Pascal Gross doesn't know the position. No time in launching it long, seeking Trossard, but again clips it forwards. And a bit tight inside the penalty area, and it flashes into the side netting. Inside Webster threads it forwards to Mount, who rolls it slightly heavily towards Havertz, who was just struggling to make something of that. Well, hooks it in, Webster gets to Chelsea to work their way back into McAllister. Look to just move it on to Caicedo. Threatening, still Sterling. Just look how quickly Brighton shirts surrounded him. Brighton hangs it up towards the back post. Corella. And it comes, and the header whistles wide from Webster. Corella. Sard finds March. Send out the ball right onto the...
Develop their play higher up the pitch.
Sado threads a what? Whose afternoon is getting better and better. They're running all over Chelsea at times here. Brighton 3, Chelsea...
Aren't they, from either set-piece pressure or open play?
Trossard, it could get better still. Deflected away from goal as the Brighton fans... Sado's ball in, and goals to nil. Second half have in store. 9th of September, when both teams had their fixture few. Loftus-Cheek, Gallagher whipping it towards the back post, and Chelsea get the start to the second half that they desperately needed. Headed home by Kai Havertz. Well, Brighton began so quickly in the first, Chelsea's turn in the second, and it
spins out too quickly for Loftus-Cheek to deal with in the very...
Start eating away at the deficit that they found themselves in. Thumped out in front of his technical area. He gets something hard there, but the ball breaks the way of Pulisic, who rolls it to his left. Chelsea threatening again. Sanchez gets something on it, and it's just cleared away out of harm's way.
Loftus-Cheek at right back, it looks like that at times, and Cucurella at left back.
Turn by Mason. Loftus-Cheek uses his body well. So far this season, as Havertz looks to... Another piece of play from him there, hung up. And we roll back to Mason Mount, who wants to have a go for the first half, but they're having to show a different side to their game in the second, as Loftus-Cheek... Well, he was unfortunate with one deflecting in off him. But looking to link up with Sterling, and Sanchez just tried to find Matoma. By Mendy into Matoma. Trossard just looking to clip it high and out of the reach of Eduard Mendy, but he's 6 foot. Pulisic with some time here was just looking to bend one towards the back.
Coming on at half-time as a keeper, hoping that he'll...
Still Aubameyang, who's going to go for goal. Sanchez reburst of energy there, and he looks to find Aubameyang. It's a good challenge, really good piece of defensive work there by Estepin. Always used to be a lot of head scratching on gantries and in press rooms when 3-0 lead to start with.
Absolutely.
Few moments as Brighton come forward here. Lamptey's low ball. He changed that here and set up a grandstand finishing. Will he go alone? It's still Enciso, twisting, turning, and in the end, unable to capitalise. And he's getting a long look from Leandro Trossard to retrieve. He sends in the cross, and it was a free. Caicedo, and he's proving so adept at doing so. Time for Brighton to stay switched on. Ball comes in, and it was... Well, it had Sanchez worried. He was to play Premier League football, of course, knew that... Go for it again, beaten away by Mendy. He'll get a second chance, pushed away, and Gross is there! And he wraps up victory for Brighton and Hove Albion. Roberto De Zerbi will get his first